Hey everybody, Ben here. Thanks for being here. Thanks for showing up for yourself each and every day. So if you're here from the short, you already have a backstory. If not, our word was snuggle. And I couldn't help but to laugh a little bit. It's a bit of a change in tone, but the need for it or the yearning, the urge is because we're going through a difficult space right now. Our supporting angel number card was important shift. This goes into overcoming the challenges, mastering wisdom, discovery, spiritual journey, blessings. So, yes, of course, we're probably in a place where life isn't 100%, and we need a safe space, whether that is with another, with a pet, with ourself, to comfort, to find this place of safety, whether we have access to another person or a pet, if not doing it alone, and getting to that place where we actually feel safe. We can kind of turn everything off for a bit. Obviously, if there was an animal or another, it's easier to mentally escape. But being alone, we may feel very lonely, abandoned, or uh, maybe we're too tough or wear that facade that I don't need anybody, but truly deep down, we really want something there to feel that connection of I'm protected, I'm going to be okay. If not, we can call on our uh, energetic beings, God, Source, Divine, Universe, Spirit Team, angels, deities, gods, goddesses, whoever we're subscribed to come in. And if we do have those connections, we can normally feel that. It will be a nice experience to feel that you are not alone. Depending on how you experience it, temperature or physical touch, you'll experience those things during that experience of being comforted. We'll dive in here a bit, uh, see what else comes through. King of Wands, reversed. Manipulation. We looked at mastering wisdom from the other card and spiritual journey. Uh, how often, I do say this a lot, but how can we really ever fully take responsibility of our thoughts at a time to know what's going on in there, if it's our true self, if it's our shadow talking, and what's manipulating what, putting us in these places of fear and worry. I mean, we reflect a lot on what we see happening out there in society, in our experience, and we grab a hold of that. That's pretty much the definition of life here. It's real to us. We have those emotions, and they get it, and we get attached to them, and they make us feel certain ways, whether uh, rejection, needing validation, or inevitable struggles for survival. Basic necessities, those are all real and we feel those. And we can try to do everything alone, but at a time we just want to know that it's going to be okay. And how often do we take the time to feel that rather than carrying this whole burden alone? Whether we are super independent, uh, financially, or throughout every aspect of our life, but uh, you know I guess in the end it wasn't all meant to be done alone. Page of Pentacles reversed. Reluctance. uh, I can feel getting to a place that there's not this full fulfillment. We do get to a place like that where maybe we've done a lot in our life and there's always something missing, and we want to fill that somehow. Maybe that is still focused on hyper independence on our own, but maybe we've accomplished a lot that way. And it's like, well, that fulfilled me to an extent, but it hasn't fully fulfilled me. What else could there be? We got the Four of Pentacles, a materialist. Uh, Not saying this is 100% connected to money, but you know, uh, clearly we're going through a difficult time of some sort. Maybe we don't know what it is, what the worry is, what the fear is, but uh, we're missing something. Whether we have it and it doesn't feel like enough, or we uh, we don't have enough, and we're going through that difficult period. It's where this really manipulation comes in of our mind, where uh, if I had this or this was here, I'd feel more comfortable. Or I don't know what it is, but I know that there's something out there, and it's holding me back from being able to be in a stable space. Uh, to be honest, I feel like we're at least the way I'm speaking, or the energy in general, it kind of feels like it's all over the place a bit. Which, if we're thinking about grounding and turning everything off, and we actually did have a snuggle session or a cuddle session with ourselves or another or a pet to ground ourselves back, to kind of turn off this back and forth. We got the Ten of Cups, family union. I think this is the goal. Maybe we went after it. Maybe we did do it, and uh, it wasn't quite there. That whole aspect of being like hyper independent maybe was the leading force, and we got there. We succeeded a lot. We built a name for ourselves, or a reputation, or a comfort of some sort, and we thought it was going to fulfill us, and maybe it did for a bit, and maybe it's not anymore. Maybe that companionship is more needed than not. Two of Swords reversed. Truth Seeker. We normally see this as, you know, in the upright, we're blinded and there's two ways to go, but maybe those two ways weren't it. They weren't enough. Maybe they were, like I said, for a bit, but now we're digging in a bit and seeing that. I'm not saying that this is true, but you know, sometimes when we lead with that hyper independence, there was a reason. Maybe because a lot of people let us down, or they hurt us, or they were never there. So we said, well, screw everybody. I'll just do it all myself, because no one was ever there. We built those walls up, and maybe we're starting to see that, yeah, being independent and everything is great, and I don't need anybody, but at the end of the day, I was doing it maybe out of this wound because I actually really wanted that, and I was just treated poorly, handled poorly, or let down a lot, when really I did want that connection. Three of Cups reversed. The so-called celebration of my accomplishments or my independence, like I said, was, I think it served a purpose for a bit, but then it was like, maybe this wasn't all worth it. Uh, Not saying that this is true, but it brings to mind a memory of mine of someone that said once, you know, they really worked hard to get a great degree, and all about their career, and by going through that and making their name for themselves, they obviously got older in time, and their biological clock was limited at that period, and really all they wanted was uh, that family deep down. But by chasing the career and everything, independence and whatnot, they feel like they, I don't want to say destroyed, but made it more difficult to have what truly was there, but it was out of sight at the time because we were leading with other things. Ace of Swords reversed. Clouded judgment. It's a big push and a pull. Our thoughts, you know. Not saying that what we worked for goes away, or that we're giving it up, or having this share, or however it may look. Uh, but this feeling, maybe we didn't have this feeling before, and we're confused of why we're having this feeling. And now this need or this desire for such a thing is contradicting our ambition in the first place. Hangman reversed. Resistance. Unable to see the new perspective, the new view. Uh, I mean, I feel like we're pretty committed on this, that this is probably a independent individual that uh, did things for reasons, and independence is great, but we're starting to see that, hey, I might want something and I don't understand why I want that. What's happening to me? Which then we can have like an identity crisis, because if we need a snuggle or we want a snuggle or a cuddle or whatever that may be, uh, that contradicts who we've been for however long. There's nothing wrong with feeling that way. I'm not laughing at you. It's just the word, and I guess me. Knight of Pentacles reversed. Procrastination. Uh, Naturally, we are going to have a bit of a struggle on seeing that identity crisis, identity change. It doesn't have to be as drastic as that, but if we've led our whole life a certain way or lived a certain way all of our life, uh, there's a lot of, do I want to give this up? And then if we actually did have a whole connection to what I said about the whole reasoning behind becoming independent was because of the letdown or the treated poorly, or no one really being there truly for us the way that we needed, and we led with that, and maybe we forgot that, or maybe we're aware of that, but that's the reasoning behind it. uh, who wants to take a chance to go down that road again? Who wants to risk losing something, or sharing themselves to be hurt again? There's that big push and pull, but obviously, if this is something that our soul desires or is embedded inside of us and it's coming up and we're like, what the hell's going on? Like, why am I feeling this way? Why am I yearning for something like this? It's going to get louder until we grant it its wish, so to say. But obviously, it's okay. And uh, you are intelligent enough if you've made it this far, and you can make good decisions. And if we're in a good place energetically and vibrationally, we can really only mate, oh, I shouldn't say mate, but match with individuals that are on that same frequency, which we would think you would be on a good frequency of being this independent, and the other would be on the same level. So I'm going to leave this here. If this resonated, feel free to like or comment, and I will talk to y'all later.